Good evening. Something I wanted to talk about tonight, something as simple as identity. Okay? Who do you feel like you really are? Who do you feel like you should be? Do you know who you want to be? Have you even stopped to think about who you want to be? Because if you just fall in line with society and what everybody else does, you'll never really think about those kind of things. But in my opinion, it is imperative to any sort of success in any form, in any sort of desire to live a life greater than you already do, you must really be honest with who you are. And some might ask, how do I do that? How do I know who I am? Okay, two big things: your habits and your accomplishments. Now that's really simple, but that's the truth. You really have to consider what you've done in your life up until this point. And if you think it's not a lot, then that's okay. It's not something to beat yourself up over. If that makes you angry, well then what does that tell you? What does that tell you about how you feel? If we don't stop to consider these things and think about why we don't like certain facts, well, we're not being very reflective. We're kind of just going through the motions. And you should know at this point in your life I'm not going to say that. If you look at the people that you despise the most in your life, or you look at the people that have the worst impact on you, like in a negative way, and you know it's a negative player in your life, think about why. Think about what they lack in personality, in emotionality, in care, and trust. And then reflect on why they might try and put yourself in their shoes and think about why they might come off those ways to you. 9 times out of 10, it comes back to them not knowing who they are, them not being reflective or mindful of their actions, their thoughts, their words, their interactions. And then you begin to see that when we don't care about other people at all, and all we care about is ourselves in a meaningful, emotional way, how many issues it causes, how many issues that arise from those basic concepts of just being a better human in general. Okay? We've talked a little bit about it before here. I believe that religion, any religion you look at that is based in truthfulness, based in goodness, for lack of better words, and simplicity, it all comes back to being good for other humans. What can I do to serve my fellow humans? Because we're all in this world together. But I believe more than ever, our society wants to divide. They want to break apart. And they want to break us apart. I believe that it's not even a belief, it's the truth. You're most powerful in numbers. You're most powerful when together. Divided we fall. So what's happening? Right? We don't need to get into anything by any means political, because I don't even believe in that stuff nowadays. But I do believe there's a lot of forces at work here. But that's a whole other story. But it starts with what we're talking about. It starts with not being for and about the preservation of humanity and oneself and mankind in a good, meaningful way. That starts with only being about yourself in a very negative and narcissistic way. There's a lot of people out there who shout at others about being narcissists that are actually narcissists themselves. We live in interesting times where so much of the good things are questioned, and so much of the bad things that hurt people aren't. And that's a problem. Because when you stop and think, who were you yesterday? Who were you in a different life? How has your life been different before now? Okay? What do you not like about your current life? Why is that? And how could it be different? When you start to think about those kind of things, well, it just changes everything. Because then you can backwards engineer what you'd rather have. How do you get to that point? And all of that starts with the idea that you are in control. Now more than ever, you got so many people telling you how you're not in control. How, just go with the flow, man. And I mean, I'm not saying there's not power in letting the right things come to you. But what I am saying is that you have to control what you can control in the right ways. And the rest will play out in due time. So many times nowadays we feel rushed. We see all the results of everybody else. We see the results of hard work and long periods of time from other people. We see it in an instant. We see it very quickly. We see it on a picture. And we go and assume in all these things. We have these opinions and these opinions that then remind us of our self-limiting beliefs. And then if we dare try to break out of those self-limiting beliefs, our self-fulfilling prophecy comes back in and says, no, you can't do that, friend. You're not good enough. You'll never get there. And that's just simply not true. One who is consistent will always win. That's all I got for tonight.